What up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Roll on the Bottom podcast. We are on this big freaking metal platform again to film the podcast. Now, good guys, I don't know if you can hear the outside around sound noise because there's a lot of commotion going on over here. Haulers putting stuff away. I'm going to try to keep this mic as close to my mouth as possible. And I don't know how this podcast is going to go, guys. We're going to start with the Cup Series race and then just kind of highlight the stuff, guys, because it's soon to be midnight. I don't know how, I'm half asleep to it at the same time. Um, let's just start off, man, with Chase freaking Briscoe. Chase Briscoe gets this win. He held off a hard-charging Tyler Reddick. It looked like Reddick, we had a nice, had a caution. We had a final 50-lap run there. It really allowed a long run. It really allowed the tires, to come into play. How well did you save your tires, or how well did you take care of your tires, excuse me. And Briscoe was, I thought Briscoe was in trouble because he was struggling around lap traffic. That's where Reddick was able to get closer and closer. And coming in, there was a couple of times where I thought Reddick had a better chance before the white flag. White flag comes in 3 and 4. Reddick does kind of a slide job, like a half slide job. He was not close enough to really, slide job him to a point where he was in front of him. It was just enough to maybe if he slides him up there, he's able to let it stick, maybe he ends up having a chance there to race it out for the win side by side, but it never worked out there for Reddick. But still a really good run for Reddick, especially knowing that like Reddick this year I felt like hasn't had the overall winning speed. I feel like that like Reddick for Reddick standards. I don't think this season's been as good for him. But back to Chase Briscoe. He led 393 laps. Chase Briscoe led 339. Wait, no. Chase Briscoe led 309 laps. This car looked hooked up. It looked like no one could touch him. There was like 2 restarts from where one was from Hamlin, where Hamlin was in a clear Briscoe, but then 2 or 3 laps later, Briscoe comes right back around him. Same thing with Reddick, where Reddick was able to get a really good restart, clear Briscoe, but then a couple laps later, here comes Briscoe. And we always talk about how dirty air is such a big factor where you can really use dirty air to your advantage and really aero block those guys to keep behind you. But that was not a case at all for Chase Briscoe. He wins this race. This is his second win of the season. He locks himself into the round of 12. Everyone's looking at Chase Briscoe as a championship contender, and I have him in my final 4, just because they have it all. They have a great pit crew, great crew chief, great driver. Chase Briscoe just never has had the opportunities. Stuart Haas, when he joined Stuart Haas, they were still at their peak somewhat, but then that was when their downfall was beginning, and their cars just weren't bringing the performance they needed. So just congrats to Chase Briscoe. Drove a great race. Yeah, really the only time his car looked vulnerable at all was when, when Rennick was right there. Now another thing, this is the most laps Chase Briscoe's ever led in his career in one race, so making some history there. But yeah, guys, I'm not trying. I really want to praise Chase Briscoe. He drove a great race in a really cool paint scheme as well, man. And now, look, I don't know what's going to be like there for Gateway for them or for Bristol. Now, Martin has run well at Bristol, so who knows? There could be another track for them. But now this allows them to kind of relax and try to add on some more points going in the round of 12, where we got we got New Hampshire, Kansas, and the Roval there. Really, guys, this race was, it was I felt like dirty air was a big factor in this race. I felt like the restarts, if you couldn't make up spots, you were kind of stuck there. Denny Hamlin felt like, I asked him, was track position more important than, tires? It sounded like he felt like, it was more of a track position race. When you're closer to the front, there's less cars, so dirty air isn't big of a factor. When you're in the back, even with newer tires, it seems like they just don't make a big enough of a difference. And also with dirty air and the way this car is designed, it allows you to aero block. And knowing that the lane here, it's really 2 lanes. There's a white dotted line into the wall. That's not a lot of space there. So it's easier to kind of aero block. And even though that guy that is trying to catch you is faster, you can just aero block him. It's kind of the same old stuff we talked about over and over again. I'm not sure, guys, if you can hear at all what's going on behind me. There's some screaming fans, some rowdy fans, a lot of noise, a lot of stuff happening, man. Now, look, guys, let's just look at some stats here. There was 24 lead changes. There were 7 cautions for 37 laps. And there was 10 different leaders. Chase Briscoe led 309 laps. John Harniacek led 15. Denny Hamlin led 12. Bill Wallace led 10. Chase Elliott led 8. Van Gisbergen led 3. Tyler Eric led 3. Ross Chastain led 3. Christopher Bell led 2. Kyle Larson led 2. I gotta give a shout out to the Legacy Motor Club. I think both cars finished top 5 in this race, I believe. That's great for them. It seems like Eric Jones has found something. He has a knack for Darlington at the nighttime. So for him to come home with a great finish, really good for Legacy Motor Club. You know, Legacy would love their cars were in the playoffs because that would be an even bigger day for them. But still, that shows you the things that Legacy Motor Club is doing. You know, it's not surprising to see, you know, Eric Jones run well. It's surprising to also see John Harniacek, you know, run wells too. Right? It's not surprising to see Eric Jones run well here. It's really surprising to me to see John Harniacek. But that tells you that it's whenever they got here in Darlington, it's working for both cars. So you got to give praise to them. Guys, there was a crap ton of things that happened in this race for playoff guys. I don't know what it is, you know? For some reason, the playoffs add this extra pressure, extra intensity, you know, and there was a lot of mistakes between a lot of different teams and drivers. It was kind of wild. I mean, I don't know where to start. I'm not going to get so in detail with this race. I kind of just want to focus on the playoff drivers because there's plenty of stuff when it came to the playoff drivers. I mean, Bubba Wallace finished 6th. Great run for Bubba Wallace. I know he had some issues, I think, on pit stops. I'm not even sure exactly. I think he was one of the guys that actually had, you know, very few mistakes, I think. I think he got boxed in that one time. Denny Hamlin finished 7th. He was the guy that had some toe link damage and then had a terrible pit stop, lost all his track positions. So for him to come back and finish 7th is good. He's sitting really well in the playoffs. I want to give a shout out to Kyle Busch, though. Kyle Busch, Carson Hocevar, Chris Buescher, top 10s for them. Ross Chastain, a guy who was running up top 5, running up front, finished 11th. I think I don't know if the strategy, tires, whatever happened to him. He wasn't, you know, he was a top 5. He was right up there competing with Briscoe, and then something happened there. Austin Cindric was another guy running right on the edge of the top 10 there. Comes home with 12th. Keep scrolling here now. All right, here we go. This is what we got to talk about. Chase Elliott. I don't think anything happened to Chase Elliott. I don't know if it's a different pit strategy, but Chase Elliott Hendrick Motorsports as a whole had a terrible race. This is one of the worst performing races I think Hendrick Motorsports has had in a long time, especially at a key moment. Let's see here. Chase Elliott finished 17th. And then we scroll some more here. Keep going. Well, hang on. Let's come back up here. Let me see. I gotta figure out where. Okay, Larson finished 19th. So he was the second highest finishing Hendrick car. William Byron finished 21st. And then Alex Bowman finished 31st. I think he was a couple laps down too. Just a terrible performance race. Now, Alex Bowman had one of the worst pit stops, like a 47 pit stop. For some reason, I guess the gun, the what do you call it, man? The drill gun, the actual gun, the gun that you pit with the car, I guess wasn't working. Like they had to switch it out mid-stop because it wasn't working. It wasn't building pressure to put the lug nut on. The fact I don't even know the name of the freaking drill it's kind of embarrassing. But that was a terribly slow stop. They just also, though, I don't think the 48 had speed they needed. They were just slow. Really, really slow. Same thing with Larson. Larson, I thought at one point was running top 10. I don't know if it was because of strategy. But that was another just poor effort for him. Just really bad performance for the Hendrick Motorsports crew. But then, Ryan Blaney, there was an accident there in turn 4 where Ryan Blaney got sandwiched between 2 RCR cars. I guess he had some damage, underbody damage that kind of killed the speed of his car. Joey Logano, I don't even know what happened to Joey. I think he was one of those other guys who just didn't have the speed. Man, just a poor effort. Now Joey's actually below the cut line, but they're going to Gateway, which Penske's one of the best at Gateway. We keep rolling here. Austin Dillon. Same thing here. I mean, he just didn't have the speed. That's why there's a reason why not many people are picking Austin Dillon to move on. It's just because of their lack of speed. I mean, Bush had top 10 speed, but I guess it was, the flip flop where it's, the past couple of weeks it's been Dillon was holding the speed and Bush was not. This time it was Bush with the speed and Dillon didn't have the speed. And then Christopher Bell, we got to talk about Christopher Bell. He was another guy that was running. I don't know where he was running at the time, but we go down to pit stop. There was a caution for Carson Osvar. He spun in turn 4. And when Bell is pinning, and when Carson is coming down pit road into his stall, Bell's coming out. They make contact. Bell gets damage in the front hood, and then that affects the car. The entire race affects the speed of the car and ends Bell's competitive day. I mean, Bell finished 29th. You just can't do that in the playoffs. I'll love to look at the playoff standings where he's at, but that's just. I know Bell was a little bit frustrated because Hocevar, who literally caused the caution, is coming down and is not aware that Bell's right there, man. So yeah, I mean, a lot of frustration with drivers. Shane Van Gisbergen finished 32nd. I know, I guess he was doing some one-stop strategy. He was doing some different strategies there where he would pit one time and run long and hope maybe the cautions fell. There was some strategy for sure. A lot of strategy in this race. It still felt like track position was important. Tires mattered some. I mean, we did see a lot of passing though between a lot of guys. Like at times I see these lap cars were super slow, but super slow, which that's kind of obvious. Sorry guys, I'm not sure. I'm hearing some yelling. Oh my gosh. All right, guys, we're in the middle. Someone is yelling. Looks like they injured themselves. I don't know what happened there. Holy crap. Let's keep working here. Let's keep going, guys. Briscoe won both the stages, man. Briscoe, dominated this race. The only time he was vulnerable was at the end of these stages. But, yeah, guys, this was fun, though, to watch this race live, experience it all, back and forth. It really, I forgot about it, but Josh Berry finished 38th. He was involved on lap 1 into turn 2. He just got loose and came up into Rennick, and then Josh Berry spins, gets some rear damage, and then a couple more cars piled in. Riely Herbst. Who else was it? Bush was in there. Bush, he slid, but then he was actually still good. He was still good to go. He came back and finished 10th, like we talked about. So yeah, I'm kind of going all over the place. I'm trying to hurry up here because I'm seeing all these people look like they want to go up on this platform here, so I don't want to take too long. But yeah, guys, that's kind of a quick recap. There was a lot in this race, a lot of issues for playoff guys in this race. If we look at the playoff standings, so Briscoe has to win. He's moving on. Denny Hamlin plus 43, Kyle Larson plus 38, Tyler Reddick plus 35, Will Loss plus 25, William Byron plus 25, Ryan Blaney plus 22, Ross Chastain plus 21, Austin Cindric plus 12, Christopher Bell plus 11, Chase Elliott plus 9, Shane Van Gisbergen plus 3. Shane's still in it. And then minus 3 is Joey Logano, minus 8 Austin Dillon, minus 19 Alex Bowman, and minus 19 as well Josh Berry. I would look at both Alex Bowman and Josh Berry, man. They're not in must-win yet, but they're not sitting too great right now. Because now they're going to need guys in front of them to have bad days. Like you're going to need a Chase Elliott, a Shane Van Gisbergen to have a bad day. But also, guys, there's Joey Logano's up there as well. It's going to be hard, I feel like, for Berry and Bowman to really gain up, get into that top 16. Because look, man, if Joey wins, that bumps a spot back. If Blaney wins up here, Cindric won here. It's going to be fascinating the way this plays out. I would say that. Really from Wallace, I wouldn't say from what? I say from Chastain up. Those guys are sitting pretty well. They're sitting pretty comfortably right now. For Hamlin to have all the issues he had in this race to be, the highest in points without a win it's pretty good. Larson, even with his bad day, he's still plus 38. Rennick, good day for Rennick. Good day for Wallace. Good day for 2311 as a whole. Gotta give some love to 2311, man. With all the stuff going on, all of the distractions with their team, they put a really good performance, and now both those drivers are sitting really well to move on to the next round. Yeah, that was a cup race, guys. There was a lot, some scary. Derek Kraus had a really scary fire, but he was okay. I gotta say, guys, also, it's very, very cold. Um, we'll keep moving on here, guys. There's a vehicle coming behind me. Connor Zilch won the Xfinty Series race at Portland. This is the 8th win of the season. It was a chaos end in this race. He dominated this race, led 17 laps of the thing. I don't even know how many laps this race was. 78 laps. So yeah, he only led 8 less laps. It was some chaos restarts, some dive bombs with William Suarez going in there, causing chaos. There was some controversy in the final restart where Zilic looked like he chose to take the little maze that they have. So if you missed, I guess, turn 1, you're supposed to take this little like maze-looking thing. And Zilic did that. Like almost looked like Zilic said, "I'm not going to go into turn 1, turn 2 really. I'm going to go through this maze." And it looks like the maze was faster than going through the normal turn 2 because all the chaos. But it almost looked like that Zilic actually didn't go through the maze the proper way. It's like he took a little shortcut. He didn't go through all parts. And there was a little controversy there, but NASCAR didn't do anything. Look, Zilic deserved to win this race, and NASCAR didn't penalize him. He deserves to win it. He dominated this race. It was not surprising. After 3 weeks, I guess, 4 weeks since breaking his collarbone there, he still he hasn't lost a beat. I don't know. I know he said it did hurt a little bit. There's still some pain there, so it's going to take some time there for him to hopefully, feel 100%. But when Zilic on a road course he's unbeatable. I don't really know what else to say about this Xfinity Series race. It was pretty. It wasn't that there was a lot of mistakes drivers were making. Dean Thompson made a bunch of mistakes. What else do we have here? How many accidents? Yeah, Dean. The 99. Macabeo had issues. The 42, the 19, there was a bunch of issues, bunch of drivers making mistakes at this place. Let's keep moving here. I don't know what's going on here. Sorry, guys. I'm all over the place. I'm watching because I'm on this nice metal platform, and I'm wondering if some people really want to be on this thing, and maybe they're waiting for me, so I don't want to take too long. It's probably going to be my shortest podcast ever. And now the Truck Series race. Corey Heim gets the win. This is his 8th win this season. If Corey Heim wins 2 more races, he will surpass Greg Biffle for the most wins in a regular season. Biffle had got that 9-win season back in 1999, so it's been around for almost 2.5 decades. I did talk to Biffle. He's not cheering for anyone's downfall, but he is definitely, he definitely would love to keep that record going. It was really a Lane Riggs versus Corey Heim kind of day. It looked like tires were big important. There was long runs. Heim won stage 1 after passing Riggs late. We saw the 34 Riggs pass Heim early in stage 2, and then it seemed like Riggs did a better job of saving his tires, so they both won both stages. But then in stage 3, coming near the end, it looked like, Riggs takes the lead. It was this long run. But here comes Heim. Heim's coming. He's coming. And then it looked like Riggs kind of talked about he changed up his line, and it maybe just was not good for his truck setup. It really wore his tires out, maybe more than he thought, and he actually blew a tire, hit the wall. There was a caution in there, a late restart with Heim and Grant Finger on his inside. Heim cleared him and took the W. With this win, Heim is now 7th all-time, has the right to 7th all-time in Craftsman Truck Series wins. He officially surpassed Dennis Sector, who they were both tied after Heim won, I believe, what was it, at Richmond. So Heim making history all the time. I'll be fascinated to see how many more wins Heim has. The next race is New Hampshire, so it's going to be a little while. No, wait, my bad. Next race is Bristol, and then New Hampshire. I think we're going to see another battle between Lane Riggs and Corey Heim for that. It's going to be fun. Some issues for some playoff drivers. Chandler Smith. If we look at the playoff standings for the Truck Series, So Heim got the win. He's moving on to the round of 8. Lang Riggs is plus 38. Daniel Hemrick plus 33. Grant Fair plus 30. Tyler Ankrum plus 22. Ty Majeski plus 16. Rajak Ruth plus 4. Jake Garcia plus 2. And then in the minus is Chandler Smith minus 2. Kenyon Honeycutt minus 7. Yeah, both Chandler Smith and Kenyon Honeycutt had terrible races. A lot of issues in those races that caused them to not have. I mean, one Chandler Smith hit the wall. I know I saw Kenyon Honeycutt wreck. He kind of cleared himself into the 44. But no, guys. I mean, it was a fun race at Darlington, man. I'm excited to see how it all plays out there. Going into Bristol, it's gonna be a fun race. Lane Riggs is sitting really well. Hamrick is sitting well. Infinger is sitting well. Ankrum is sitting well. But then Majeski, Cruz, Garcia, who are plus, they're still in that very vulnerable spot. It's going to be fun. I think Chandler Smith won Bristol. Can Chandler Smith turn his season around and take home that win at Bristol? That'll be a fun storyline to follow. Overall, guys, this is the race weekend at Darlington. I'm trying to just wrap this thing up. It's been a really cool week, guys. I really got out of my comfort zone, asked a couple of questions during the press conference stuff. I'm really getting comfortable, guys. I'm really getting comfortable with this stuff. It's super fun. It's hard, sometimes you're just sitting there, you're thinking about questions to ask, you're trying to be involved. I'm building, I wouldn't say relationships, but I think I'm getting more familiar with the people around the NASCAR, communications people. I was able to say my, who I work for, roll in the bottom, which I work for myself. But that was cool, man. I mean, look, guys, I'm literally at Darlington Raceway filming a podcast. The lights are out. There's still stuff going right now. There's still stuff being done. Still work going down, man. There's still golf carts. There's still campers. There's still fans having a hearty party time, man. It's just amazing, guys. I don't know. My next race will be Kansas if I get accepted as as a media member. If I get my application granted, I hope I do, because I would love to go to Kansas, experience Kansas. It would be like a 15 and a half hour drive, because I'm driving. I don't fly. I drive. Jeez. But that's really cool. Now it's time to end this podcast. But guys, I really do appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for supporting me, loving the content. I mean, it means a lot to me, guys. It really does. It's still surreal that I am getting to do this. It's pretty awesome, guys. So let me know, guys. And guys, look, this new mic, Rode mic, it's done wonders for me, man. So really enjoyed it, guys. And overall, thank you guys for watching. And I'll see you after NASCAR Weekend at Gateway. Stay tuned on my content. Goodbye. Woo!